Hello, welcome to Fleming Star Tutorials. It's teacher Fleming Star welcoming you to today's lesson. In today's lesson in the English language, we are going to be considering a particular part of speech for the particular grade I am going to be taking today. Now, in the English language, we have about 8 parts of speech, and the easiest one, which is usually introduced to pupils in the lower elementary grade, parts of speech which name objects. For example, or for instance, here I have a pair of sandals. I have an envelope. I have a pair of shoes. I have a piece of cloth. I have a bowl. I have another bowl. And then I have another bowl. Okay, this is a marker board, it's an object. And this is a marker. Oh yeah, I have a battery, yes. Or some call it short circuit or whatever, I don't know. And so on. Now, the parts of speech in English grammar which names objects are called nouns. So a noun is a naming word. Now that's the simplest form. That's the simplest introduction to nouns. There is more to nouns than this. This is just a very simple and easy introduction to that. Now, and another part of speech in the English language is they are used to replace repetitive nouns in sequential sentences. For example, John goes to school Mondays to Fridays. John visits his father's workshop on Saturdays. John goes to church on Sundays. Now, in order to avoid repeating John in the following or in the sequential sentences apart after the very first one, which identifies John as the person being addressed, we'll say John goes to school Mondays to Fridays. Then John in the next sentence can be replaced with masculine pronoun, which is he, which is the word he. He visits his father's workshop on Saturdays. He then goes to church on Sundays, and so on. Now, that's about that for those two parts of speech I just quickly touched. For today's lesson, we're actually going to be looking at another part of speech which tells us more or describes a noun or a pronoun. I showed you earlier on in the lesson a pair of sandals here. Now, a very vivid description here is white pair of sandals. You see, the color white tells us more about this pair of sandals I am holding. Now, I also showed you a piece of cloth earlier on. Yeah, the color, it's a light shade of blue. So I have a blue piece of cloth. I also showed you an envelope. and the color is white. My light has, the electricity has been interrupted. I'm sorry if it's dark now, if the video is a little bit dark. Okay, I have a white envelope here, and this is a purple battery, and I have a white marker board. And so just look around you wherever you are now, and try to, and then just describe objects around you, and then write them in the comments below. Thank you. Now, the parts of speech which tells us more or describes a noun or a pronoun is called adjective. Can you see I am busy here? Please do not make any noise. It's called adjective. Now, an adjective is a word which tells us more or describes a noun or a pronoun. Yes, I'm putting on a shirt. This is an object, it's a shirt. But a very visible description of this shirt is yellow. So I am putting on a yellow shirt. So adjectives, you should be able to write it down take down notes from what I have said. If you need notes from what I've said, you make your opinion known to me in the comment section. I'll send you a link which will take you directly to my Google Drive to get the notes for this, to get a comprehensive notes for this lesson. Thank you. Yes, adjectives are words which tells us more or describes nouns or pronouns. Now, furthermore, in this part of speech, we have comparison. Yes. Let me complete this. Words which tells us more about nouns or pronouns. E.g., I am wearing a shirt. Telling us more about the shirt I'm wearing is the word yellow. Is that understood? And so on. So comparing adjectives now. Comparing adjectives. We have the positive form. When you are describing, that is when you are describing just one object. Then we have the comparative form when you are describing or comparing rather two objects. The comparative form, and then we have the superlative form when comparing three objects. Now, for example, if you have a cup of coffee which is hot, that's one cup of coffee, it's hot, describing just one object. Now we have two cups, and one is, you have to compare the degree of hotness. One for one is more than that of the other. For two, one is hot, the other one is hotter. Then if you have 3 cups of coffee whereby the degrees of hotness differs, probably the third one could be the hottest cup of coffee. Now take note, for one syllable words or one syllable adjectives or 2 syllable adjectives, their comparative forms usually take ER, while the superlative form most times take EST. Another example, we have cold, comparing 2, colder. Comparing 3, we have coldest. However, when comparing adjectives, three-syllable adjectives, for example, beautiful, expensive, these words do not take er in their comparative form, neither do they take est in their superlative form. What they take in their comparative form, they take the word more. I'm taking the word expensive. Expensive. In the comparative form, we're comparing two expensive objects, whereby one is more expensive. That's it. More expensive. Then when you have to compare three expensive objects, the third one might be the most expensive. For example, if you have to buy a wristwatch for 1,000 in whatever currency you use over wherever you are, then another wristwatch for 1,500 and another one for 2,500. Definitely the one which costs 2,500 is the most expensive of the three wristwatches. Oh, where did my wristwatch go? Okay, then another example is the word beautiful. 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 More beautiful. Most beautiful, and so on. In your class task, very quickly identify the adjectives in the following sentences. Mary has a new dress. Camels are useful animals. I'm busy. Go and do whatever you want to do. We live in a large green house. Very quickly, identify the adjectives in these sentences. We have three of them. $20 should be enough. Shouldn't it? It's very easy. Okay. Have we gotten to 20 seconds already? Okay. Let's do this together now. The first sentence here, we have Mary has a new dress. Mary has a dress. Fine. All right. Well, what's the word telling us more or describing the kind of dress she has is the word new. Is that taken? Now moving on to the next sentence, we have camels are useful animals. Camels are animals, right? What kind of animals are they? They are useful animals. They're mainly used in transportation and so on. So they are useful animals. Now we live in a large green house. We live in a house, right? What kind of house do we live in? We live in a large house and the color of the house is green. So there are two adjectives in this sentence, which are large and green. So for your home task, I am actually going to be writing and pinning it in the comment section. So please do take out time from your busy schedule to work on that. And if you have any questions, please write them down in the comment section. And do like this video, share to friends and family who might find contents and the lessons useful. See you in the next lesson. Thank you.